Hello, Zenith. This is your host coming at you with another video. So, yesterday I did a little bit about Gemini Sun, and why not move along the wheel? So, today I'll be talking about Cancer, the sign, the energy of Cancer, not a particular planet, but just in general, the archetype. So, what is Cancer? Cancer, according to the Freemasons, according to ancient occult literature, is the first zodiac sign. Why? I thought that was Aries. And the answer is that Cancer is the oldest sign. Cancer represents cardinal water. In astrology, we have three modalities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. What does this mean? Cardinal is the beginning of a season. It's the creation of spring. It's the creation of summer. It's the creation of fall and winter, etc. Cardinal literally means bringing on that new season. It's the first of the season. So Cancer is the first season of summer. And so it's known as cardinal water, which is creative water. Think about giving birth in the water, creating through the primordial soup, the ocean, right? So Cancer, you'll notice, I don't have a glyph here with me, but it's represented as kind of like the 6-9, kind of like these two things chasing each other, situation. But before that sign, Cancer was represented by the sea turtle. Why? Because the sea turtle is the oldest animal on Earth. Cancer is the divine feminine. Cancer is the divine mother. All things came from her. This is why she's known as the oldest sign. This is why she's known as the first sign. Because nothing can come into this world but through the archetype of the divine ancient mother of the ocean. Right? So that is represented as the ancient turtle. And the Chinese use this as the I Ching, right? We use the turtle shell as a map of the universe. There's a lot of wisdom in that animal. There's a lot of wisdom in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the most intuitive sign. It is the oldest. Intuition is strong with Cancer. Cancer represents family. It represents women. It represents childbirth. It represents nurturing energy. Cancer represents the home, the homestead, your mother's home. Traditionally, we can look at this in the fourth house. If you want to know where your fourth house is, what house Cancer is taking up in your astrological chart, your horoscope, your natal chart, book a reading with me. I would love to read for you and give you my take on your chart and to speak specifically and directly to your own unique blueprint of the sky, right? It's like a thumbprint. None of us have the same one. So astrology is very detail-oriented. It is not a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all kind of thing. No. I myself am very familiar with the Cancer energy. I have a strong Cancerian presence in my own chart. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So let's talk about that. The moon is the fastest moving celestial body in the sky. It's considered a luminary, right? So you have the sun, which goes around the wheel once a year. And then you have the moon, which goes around the wheel once a month. once a month. That's where we get the word month, is from moon, because it's a moon cycle. It's when the sun and the moon have their monthly eclipse, the new moon, and then she runs around the zodiac and comes back again for another new moon. That's considered a month. And in that time, the sun has moved roughly 30 degrees into the next sign, right? Not exactly, but that's part of the clock. So the moon rules Cancer. And this is very important because the moon represents the subconscious mind, the abstract side of the mind, right? Mercury is the left side of the brain. The moon is the right side of the brain. It's the intuitive side. It's the abstract side. It's the side of the mind that's connected with emotions, with things that cannot be mathematically, logically, analytically explained, right? This is traditionally the masculine side of the brain is the left side, the analytical, black and white, facts, problem solving. The moon is like, yo, I don't care about, the nitty gritty. I care about this feeling. I care about this vibe. I care about this, the wisdom that's in the ethereal realm that's all around. And, naysayers might not understand this energy because they're not open to it. But the reality is that everything is made of water. Everything, all matter, the human body itself, it's made of 90+% water, right? The earth itself is made of 90+% water. So with the moon affecting water, manipulating the tides as she runs through her natural course, this explains why the populace of Earth, all people, all creatures, all seasons, all things, the weather, everything is influenced by the moon, okay? Even society, there's more people being admitted into the psych wards and being arrested on a full moon and a new moon versus these other times. Why is that? Because this directly influences us. It's very important, especially as a woman, to track your menstrual cycle, to understand the relationship with your own body and your emotions, your physical makeup, your physical and chemical and spiritual and emotional makeup in accordance to the moon, right? And that's where we get the word loony from Luna, because she is moving so fast. She's jumping signs. She's moving around. She's contacting all the planets throughout the month. Making a conjunction to every asteroid, every planet, every star system, every nakshatra. That's where we get, our nakshatras. They're actually, that word means lunar mansion. That's another video. So the moon has such a powerful influence on everyone's subconscious, whether they know it or not. As an event organizer, I am not going to book an event or a show or whatever unless I look at the moon. Where's the moon that day? Because I guarantee you, whether people know it or not, it's going to be affecting everyone. And this is very important. And this is why Cancer is so emotional. This is why the sign of Cancer is so... What's the word? She becomes possessed. In a matter of a moment. It's like a spiritual energy can just enter her and be animated, right? Because this moon is so fluid, it's moving through everything. And, so Cancers are moody, they can have mood swings. Take this with a grain of salt, but they get possessed by the ethereal energy, and they're governed by the moon, so it's very important to keep up with that, especially if you have strong Cancer in your chart, or if you yourself are a Cancerian. your ruling planet is the moon. So, where is that in your natal chart? That's so important. Okay, forget your sun sign. It's important, but not as important as the moon. And even if you're not a Cancer, the moon sign, this is another video too, but the moon sign is going to show you the inner workings of who you really are. The sun is what we're radiating out. The ascendant is like the mouthpiece or the mask or the front that we put out there. But the moon, and this is why in Vedic astrology, we look at the nakshatra, it's so important. The moon really shows us who someone is. One of my favorite astrologers has a quote. She says, when you first meet me, you're going to meet my ascendant. And then if you get to know me a little better, then I'll show you my sun. And if I can really trust you, if I can really, feel safe in your presence, then I will show you my moon. This is very important. Because when we're brought into the world, we're much more like our moon sign. Like children are just kind of like reacting based on their lunar positions. As we age, as we grow, as we evolve, then we're going to move into more of our sun, more of our masculine expressive, ego dominant personality. But the moon is our natural tendency. It's where we're comfortable. It's really, in astrology, it's where you're going to find insight into yourself and others. That moon placement is so important, and the nakshatra that goes with it, as well as the pada and the rulers that go all into that. It's another rabbit hole you can go down. So Cancer is moody. It's mood swings, and they're highly emotional people, and they're highly intuitive people. They know things. They have a strong intuition. They don't need logical proof. In fact, that's secondary. The highest wisdom is intuition. I don't care what people say, what they try to hide, whatever, what 2 + 2 = 4. It doesn't matter. With intuition, you can pierce through everything and know truth that no one can know based off of the ethereal hints and guides. And the water, the wisdom of the water, the oldest element, the most feminine element, is all around us. So therefore we can gather information from everywhere based off of the aura, based off of the cloud, right? The cloud stores all the memory. That's another thing, is that the element of water holds memory, right? So these are very, you can take a glass of water. I'm kind of out of water, but as an example, take a glass of water and program the water, with crystals, with intention, with whatever, and it will physically be manipulated based off of your conscious energy that you put into it. And guess what? It stores memory. If I was going to be drinking glacier water from Antarctica, guess what? I'm getting those codes. I'm getting that energy, that resonance, that wisdom, those memories of ancient Terra, ancient Earth. So Cancer is a powerful sign. They like to feel safe. They like to have their cave, right? The turtle wears the shell. It carries its home on its back. And even now, we associate Cancer with the crab. They associate the sign of Cancer, right? The 6-9 thing. They associate it with the pincers of the crab. And what does a crab do? It has a very hard shell, and it basically carries its home with it, like a snail or a turtle or et cetera, et cetera. Cancer rules the home. It needs to have a safe space. It needs to have, it's the most private house. The 4th house is the most private house. It's our ancestral roots. It's where we rest our head at night. It is, it represents our family. It represents our comforts. those with strong Cancer placements not only are very highly intuitive, but they love food, especially a home cooked meal, and they love creature comforts, having a cave to withdraw to. You're not going to be able to bring a Cancer out of their home for very long, out of their shell for very long. They need that shell. And the sea turtle is one of the oldest animals, if not the oldest. I don't really know. I'm not a biologist, but there's a reason for that, and maybe it's because they they bring their home wherever they go. They bring their protection with them. They are sheltered, where they go. So if you're wondering why a Cancerian is moody, is emotional, is whatever, it's because they're ruled by the moon. If you know any Cancers, their moon placement is especially important. And then, of course, all the aspects that are happening from other placements in the chart. These people love to be around natural bodies of water. They love creature comforts, as we all do, but it's kind of on another level with Cancer. So, yeah, what else can I say about Cancer? It's the Divine Mother. It's the oldest sign. All creatures came from the mother, right? So she is very wise, but she's also can be temporarily possessed by whatever energy, whatever mood, whatever frequency is around at the time. So highly intuitive people, they may not even understand their own gifts and abilities, but normally the intuition is pretty strong with these characters. Unfortunately, though, besides some of the negative things, besides being over emotional and sensitive and overly connected to the mother in the home, Cancer is